Hi, I'm Virna DePaul, best-selling author and contributor to the HEA blog at usatoday.com. Today I'm interviewing the fabulous Rhyannon Byrd. Your latest release, Dark Wolf Rising, continues your Blood Runner series. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. The Blood Runner series is a paranormal series that I have at Harlequin Nocturne, and Dark Wolf Rising is the fourth book. The first three books came out in 2008, almost 5 years ago. So it's been a really big gap in between, but I'm really excited to be back to the series, and this book four will start a second trilogy. So books 4, 5, and 6 are all going to be about the Drake family, two brothers and a sister, who were all introduced in the first three. And book 4 is Eric Drake's story. And it's just really fun and exciting to be back to this series. I love it, and it's been one of my favorites to write. And after such a long gap, it's wonderful to be able to go back to the world and finally write these stories that I've been thinking about for so long.
And I know your fans have been eagerly awaiting. I can see on Facebook that they're always asking you when your next Blood Runners book is coming out. So I know that we are all happy.
They've been so great about it. I mean, they've really been wonderful because it has been such a long gap, and you think, well, people are just going to forget about the characters or, give up on it. But I get more email about this series than any other, and they're so patient and they're so sweet about it, and it just feels really great to finally be able to go back and give the stories that I've been promising for so long. So I'm glad it's finally here.
Awesome. You're also keeping busy working on a few other projects, which I know will please your fans. Can you tell us about those?
Absolutely. Oh my God, this is such an exciting year because I finally have a bunch of books coming out, which it's been kind of a long gap. I've had maybe 1 or 2 a year, and this year I think I have 6. Oh, wow. So the first one would be Dark Wolf Rising in January, which is the official release date. And then on June 4th, I have 2 releases. I have a novella at Harlequin Nocturne that's going to be in the Darkest Desire of a Vampire anthology with another Nocturne author, Lauren Hawkeye. And my novella in that is a vampire novella, and it's starting what is a new vampire series at Nocturne about 3 brothers who are vampires. And this first one is about the middle brother. His name is Nick, and I had such a blast writing it, and it's really fast-paced and it's really fun. It'd been a long time since I'd done a novella, so it was great to be able to do that. And then the second book I have releasing on the same day is the first book in a new erotic contemporary story coming out with Berkeley Heat. And I am so thrilled to finally be getting back to writing erotic contemps. That's what I started writing when I first started out at Alora's Cave. And I love the genre. I love the books. And I'm really thrilled to be doing the Dangerous Tide series. The first book is Take Me Under. And then I also have a novella, which is coming out in October with the awesome Shayla Black, which will be related to the series, and that's called Wicked and Dangerous. And then in the winter will be the second full-length novel, which is Keep Me Closer. It's a lot of books in 1 year. I'm really excited.
That's fabulous, because I know I'm one of those fans that's just waiting until you have a new release. And so now I have multiple releases this year. Fabulous.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
You live in the UK, but periodically come back to the States for writers' conferences. I know I was lucky to meet you at one of those. Is there anything you absolutely have to do when you're in the States?
Okay. This is going to sound really weird, but there's 2 things. The first one is we always have to go to Bath and Body Works. Always, because we cannot get that store here. They're all over the world, and they're in all these different countries, but for some reason they have not come to the UK. And we are addicted to the orange ginger aromatherapy line and the anti-back.
Oh, wow.
So we raid their store whenever we're there. It's so funny. And we just come back with masses of it. The whole family, we all love it. And then the second is Mexican food. Oh, my God. It's my favorite. I love it. I've always lived in places in America that Mexican food was really, really popular, and always had my choice of really incredible restaurants to go to. And even though there are Mexican restaurants here, there are absolutely none where we live, anywhere close to where we live. So that is always my number one priority when we're visiting my family in San Diego. There's one Mexican restaurant there, and that is the one thing that I say I absolutely have to do while we're there.
Oh, awesome.
Love it.
Those are fun things. Now, I hear you have a phobia of roundabouts. Have you been driving anymore?
God, yes. Okay. Oh, we have been here for 4.5 years now. And, I've driven for 20 years in the States. I've always, ever since I could get my license, I've had my license. But I'm terrified of the roads, terrified of roundabouts. So I put it off absolutely as long as I could, which was really easy to do because we live in this beautiful little historic town. You can walk to wherever you need to go. So I haven't had to get it. And my husband even went and bought me this lovely little Mini, trying to, kind of give me the push to get out there and do it. And I still had it off for another 2 years, which is awful. And then I finally just got to the point where I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. We're having to walk everywhere when I need to get the kids to an event or something like that. So I finally started taking driving lessons. I was feeling pretty good with the roundabouts, getting there a little bit more comfortable. And then right before Christmas, my instructor took me out on this roundabout over in Warwick that has like 4 or 5 lanes and stoplights and everything else. Complete panic. So now I'm terrified of them again.
Oh.
But we'll get there. I'm hoping to take my test in next month or so. So then, one of those things, the more times I do it, the better it'll be, I hope.
Well, good for you for taking that step. That's great. Do you belong to any writing groups? And what's your writing routine like?
No, I don't, and I should. It's so bad. I did when we were in the States, and ever since we moved, I just haven't signed back up, and I really, really need to. And I wish I could say that I'm one of those writers who has a really great structure or, kind of so organized with their writing. But it doesn't seem to matter how much time I have before a book is due. It all kind of comes to me right in that crunch time. Mm-hmm. That last month, that will be where I write the majority because it all just comes all of a sudden. And then I'm just planted at the computer and I don't move from it. And, I kind of get it all done. Drives my husband crazy. He's like, why can't you be more organized on us, If you wrote this many hours every day, and even though I'm in front of the computer and I'm sitting there and I'm getting words down, they just don't come as quickly until right there at the end. And it's just like madness. But, I wish I could do it differently, but that's just the way that it works for me. So I guess I'll have to embrace it, get used to it.
That's right. Embrace it because the product is certainly fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
You've written around 25 books to date. Do you ever suffer from writer's block? I guess you're saying that, the block comes before that 1 month period. But have you ever had prolonged periods of writer's block?
I'm really lucky. I haven't. And I think something that's really helped with that is that I have switched genres and kind of different lengths of books and genres. And I think that helps keep it kind of, it helps to keep you going. I also think it probably helps that my books tend to be very character driven. So as, I start things and I always have that, it's always the characters that come to me first. And then I kind of, build the world around that. I think if I were trying to go the other way, that would be really difficult for me. And I would stumble a lot more with that. So I just usually tend to, I don't have enough time to get kind of all the stories written for the characters that I want to write. So right now that I've been really lucky and that's not been, if I could just do it ahead of time, that would be better.
Well, Kiss of Death was a spinoff of your popular Primal Instinct series. Will we be seeing more of the Granger brothers?
That's definitely the plan. At the moment, they're not contracted, and I don't know what the publisher might decide to do in that regard. But for me, I definitely, one way or another, will definitely write a book for Gideon because he and Ash were, they were so much a part of the Primal Instinct series, and I don't think you can write one for one and then not write for the other. And there's so many readers that are really lovely, and they ask for his story, and I'm dying to write his story. So somehow, some way, I don't know the details, but I will have a story for him, and I'll keep everyone posted on how that works out. And I'd like to do one for Damon as well. He was one of the characters that was introduced in the last book of the Primal Instinct series, and I think he'd be fun to get in there as well. So I'll keep everyone posted on that.
Well, as we wrap up today, is there anything you'd like to say to our viewers?
God, just a really heartfelt thanks to any of my readers out there for sticking with me for so long and being really supportive. And they've been really incredible, and they keep me going when I think, oh my God, I'm buried in deadlines and I don't know how I'm going to do all this. And whenever you get a message or someone posts on Facebook, it just, lifts you up, and they're really, really incredible readers. And, they've been so important in keeping me going. And to anyone that hasn't read my books, if you pick one up, I hope you enjoy it. And, thanks so much for giving it a try. And thanks so much for having me here today.
Thank you very much. It was a great pleasure to talk to you.
Oh, thank you.